Hello, we are here in Bristol and we're here on the Scottish Friendly Children's Book Tour with the wonderful Gillian Philip. Gillian, we've been here all week and we've been travelling around schools in Bristol and Bath and just further afield as well. Can you tell us any of your tour highlights?
Oh, it's pretty much all been highlights. So we've had some fantastic sessions in schools, Bath, in Bristol here, in Hill, in Midsummer Norton and Chipping Sodbury. It's just been fantastic. And just being in the area has been fantastic. Bristol's lovely. I just love Bristol. It's beautiful. So we've had plenty of time to look around here as well. It's been great fun. I've enjoyed every minute.
Thank you for coming. So this year we've had Bloodstone, which is published by Strident, and we've also had The Opposite of Amber, which is published by Bloomsbury. How were you able to write two books at the same time, or at least certainly have them come out at the same time?
Well, it's tricky. I do tend to usually be writing 2 or 3 books even at the same time. In this case, it was a little bit different. I was quite lucky. I just had to write The Opposite of Amber. But Bloodstone was one that was kind of already written. It had been written for a while, so it was basically a thorough rewrite job.
Thorough rewrite job.
Very thorough rewrite.
Can you tell us just a little bit about each of those new books that you have?
Yeah, The Opposite of Amber it's kind of a murder story basically set in a small seaside town in Scotland, and it's about 2 sisters who drift apart when the older one gets involved with a guy who's bad news anyway. Bloodstone is a follow-up to Firebrand from last year, which is in the Rebel Angels series, and it's basically the story of the fairy folk of Scotland, and it's more of an adventure story. Yeah.
2 very different stories.
Very different, yeah.
They're both excellent.
Why, thank you.
And both very readable, so
Thank you.
check them out. In your talk, Gillian, you speak to the students quite a lot about plotting and how you plot your novels, or more accurately, how you don't plot your novels. Can you explain why you use that process rather than a plotting process which other authors try to use?
Basically because it was all I could do. As it turned out, I kind of always thought I couldn't actually be a proper writer because I didn't plot ahead, and it took me a while to find out that I don't have to plot ahead, and that quite a lot of writers don't, though a lot obviously do. And I think the point I'm trying to make in the talks is that if anybody wants to be a writer, they shouldn't be scared of starting if they're not sure where it's going. It doesn't matter as long as they sit down and start and get something on the page. It'll go on from there, and yeah, that's kind of how I do it, kind of on a wing and a prayer.
And you find that really exciting?
It's exciting because it's sometimes exciting and sometimes it induces panic, because it's great sometimes not to know where it's going and to kind of have unexpected surprises, but on the other hand, sometimes I kind of start to worry a little bit into the book about not knowing where it's going and who done it and things like that, so it can be a bit unnerving, but it's fun.
And you get there in the end.
I get there in the end.
Which is the most important thing.
It is.
We've been talking a lot about characters this week with the various groups that we've met, and how the characters speak to you and how that manifests itself, and also how some of them manifest themselves on Twitter. Can you explain a little bit about for the people out there who are watching this video?
Yes, I'm always afraid it sounds a bit flaky and freaky to say, oh, the characters are talking in my head, and like the characters come alive to me as if I've got voices in my head or something. But I do tend to find that happens, and it's all part of the fun. It's kind of like the not plotting ahead business. I like the characters surprise you and do unexpected things. And they don't always do what you want them to do. Like Ruby in The Opposite of Amber wouldn't talk, so eventually I just had to accept that and realise she was just really monosyllabic. Seth is another one in the Rebel Angel series, and he's so disobedient he actually went onto Twitter and got his own account. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you, Gillian. Thank you, well, a few thank yous to do actually. Thank you to Scottish Friendly for their continuing support with the touring programme. Thank you to Cyprus as well for instigating this tour with us. And a huge thank you to Margaret Pemberton at Bristol Library Service, who helped to organise all the school sessions. Thank you, of course, to all the schools who we went to see and all the people that we met and spoke to during this week. But the biggest thank you, and the last thank you, to Gillian for being so great fun this week, for entertaining everyone and inspiring so many children along the way.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for bringing me along. Thanks to the Scottish Book Trust. It's been great.